What's up, guys? It's your boy LV, and today I'm bringing you guys what you guys all wanted to see. You guys wanted to see. I know you guys. Come on. I know you. Y'all wanted to see the water guide, and I gotta bring it out quick to you guys. Because I know a lot of you guys loading in. You're like, whoa, what is going on? I got 2 loadouts. What do I do? What do I put? What loadout do I use? Well, I got you guys. You guys know I got you guys. So I'm bringing you guys a loadout that is very simple to use. Not only is it very good, and it's a very good damage loadout, but it's very, very simple to use. So by the end of this video, you guys might see these loadouts and they're overwhelming. By the end of this video, it's going to be underwhelming. Why? Because I'm going to explain how to use it. I'm going to explain why water is so broken. And I'm going to explain how and why the loadout and the setup is the way it is. Okay? First things first. For the artifacts, you're going to want transformation, book, scrap, candle, and EOG. That is the 5 arts that you're going to want. I did use Ebon before. I took out candle and I would use Ebon, but since we now have 2 loadouts, if you use Ebon, you're probably going to run out of power unless you have a godlike troll. It's just not viable. So this used to be my 5 arts, but I'm swapping it out and putting in candle instead, so I do not run out of power. So that is basically the explanation on it. Now, what is so cool about this loadout that I'm gonna give you guys is that you will be able to use it on AoE and single target. Not only that, you don't have to use Omega. You can use Omega if you want to, and I'm gonna show you guys the alternative for that, but you really don't have to. So it's gonna be entirely up to you guys whether or not you do or don't use it. But I genuinely feel like water combos do so much damage that I just don't think it's worth using Omega and use up an entire art slot for an entire ability slot for something that can get stunned, for something that you have to stand still when you're using. I don't think Omega's worth it for water. For other powers, sure, but for water, I just don't think it's worth it. Especially a lot of you guys may not even have Omega. Leveling up an artifact for a power that doesn't even really need it, it just doesn't make logical sense. So the loadout I'm going to be giving you guys is going to require the least amount of iconics and the least amount of artifacts that you guys may not have. So I do have Lasso and Spore Pod in right now, but I will show you guys some alternatives that you can run that will replace them if you do not want to run those. So let's get into it. Now, the first things first is they did release a White Lantern ring, and I'm going to show some abilities that you can use for this. But you definitely want to level up this augment because it does give you 2% might. I did want to state that for everyone that's watching this video because this white augment just came out. Even if you're not using, because right now you see I don't have White Lantern abilities in my loadout. Even if you're not using the ability, you still want the augment solely because of the stats. Okay, so that's that. That's the augment, and then obviously you want all red might augments for everything else. Surely you guys know that. For skill points, very simple: super powered, critical, might and power. I put 100 into precision and the rest into health. If you have lower skill points, just dump everything into health. Call it a day. Okay, now for gear, very simple. You're going to want the ultimate head mod, 15% supercharge, the neck mod, which gives you might, the back mod, which resets your supercharge generator and your shields, and then you're going to want the penetrating strikes for your chest, ultimate leg mod, max damage for your hands, and then deadly box. That doesn't really matter, but you can put that in. Yeah, that's pretty much it with that. And I'm pretty sure I covered that. Okay, cool. So let's get into the loadout. So this is the loadout with which I want to call an hybrid loadout, where you can use one armory, and you can do both single target and AoE and still be top DPS, and it's very, very simple. Okay, so we're gonna go over how to use it, and we're gonna talk about some replacements and all that stuff. So how to use it. Actually, before we talk about how to use it, let's just show you it. So for the first tray, you're gonna put Arsenal, Dehydrate, Bubble, Lasso, Neo, and Call the Deep. And to talk about Lasso, if any of you guys are interested in buying Lasso, I do have 2 available. So you guys can contact me, and I do have Bat Swarm, which we're going to talk about in a second, if you guys do want to buy that. But I will tell you guys an alternative. If you don't have Lasso and you're unable to get it, I'll tell you an alternative in a second. Now, for the second tray, we have Spore Pod, Weapon Buff, Riptide, Whirlpool, Spouts. I always say it wrong. Don't laugh at me in the comment section. And then Tsunami Strikes. Now, you guys might have an idea where we're going with this, if you know a little bit about water. So, what are we going with this? You're primarily going to be spamming your melee move. Okay, that's going to be the main thing. But before we get into that, let me explain why we have the weapon buff. You might be curious, why do we have the weapon buff? What's this Riptide move? All that sort of stuff. Okay, first things first, Spore Pod came out of an event that came in spring event. So if you guys don't have it, that means that you didn't play during spring. An alternative that you guys could use is Magma. If you don't have Magma, you could honestly use the Supercharged Generator Drown, which is going to add the PI and also give you Supercharge, which is going to help you be able to spam your Supercharges. Or you can actually run the White Lantern Ring Radiant Nova. You can actually run that, but just be aware that this is a melee move, so it would only work if you're a melee. So there are 3 alternatives right there. Or you can run the Soul Signature Candle move. So you got Radiant Nova, Soul Signature, Magma, and then the EBB. Depending on what you guys have. If you guys don't have the art, if you guys don't have the Iconics, you guys don't have the augment, kind of play with it. And I did want to take a moment. Let me make this clear, guys. I'm giving you guys this loadout, right? But I don't want you guys to just copy and paste it. I want you guys to try it out and alternate it to your liking. Make it work for you. This is more of a foundation, okay? Let's start building our own setups, okay? Especially now that we have 2 loadouts, all right? Don't just go on YouTube, copy and paste it and call it a day. No. Take the loadout, copy and paste it, and then figure out what you can do to make it better, or what you can do to make it fit your playstyle. Let's start making that more of a normal thing, okay? So with that being said, let's continue on to the video. I just wanted to make that clear because I will be making a lot of guide videos, but I want you guys to not just copy and paste them. I want you guys to bring up with your own ideas. I want to see different types of loadouts. Even this loadout, I might change it in the future if I feel like there's something that may work better for me. This loadout is specifically for you guys because I think it's a very simple one. Once I explain it, it's very simple. So, if you do have everything that I'm showing, this would be the most ideal because you will have Lasso to one-shot ad sets, and then you have Spore Pod, which obviously does a ton of damage on AoE as well. And you honestly, for boss fights, if you wanted to run one armory, you could just run one armory, and you wouldn't use the Lasso on boss fights because Lasso doesn't work on bosses, only on ads. But you could just keep it in there. Now, you may ask, why do I have Weapon Buff and Riptide? Okay, so first thing, Riptide resets your previous move. So if I use Weapon Buff, if I use the Weapon Buff and then I use Riptide, it will reset the Weapon Buff, so then I can hit it twice. Now, you may say, why are you hitting the same move twice? Well, what are you doing? Are you insane? Are you out of your mind? Are you just, like, dumb? Well, no, there's a reason why. So, Starfire grants you 8% might. Alright, so just to talk about the allies, for AoE, you want Superboy, Flash, and Starfire, and then for boss, you want John Constantine for combat. Okay? But let's talk about Starfire for a second. Using a weapon buff ability now grants 8% might. Now, the thing about it is, every time you use her, she gives you that 8% might. So if you reset the weapon buff, you get it double. So if you look at my might, I'm at 703. I use it. Now I'm at 743. So 40,000 might. I use it again. Now I'm at 784. And then I wait until it's off cooldown again. And then you can actually quadruple stack it. Quadruple stack it if you pop it right away. I go boom, 824. 824. Now, you can only quadruple stack it if you pop it right away. If you don't pop it right away, then it will be a triple stack. But that is still an insane amount of might. So I'm going to show you guys again. You guys can see it's dimming down. So my base might, I think, is like 700k, and it goes all the way up to 820. Okay, so let's see. Let's do it quick. Boom. We're at 784. 784. We're going to wait until it goes away. This is why you got to be able to have your timing right. As soon as it goes away, you pop it again. Now 865. So quadruple might stack, and you're gonna see it. You're gonna see that it goes down. But as long as you keep popping the weapon buff every time it's off cooldown, the quadruple stack of might is always gonna stay there. So we're talking about going from 700k might to 865. That is 165,000 might, guys, and that is only with Starfire. That is not, we're not talking about Troll giving you might. We're not talking about John Constantine giving you might. Any stat-based might, any buffs, nothing. Just Starfire alone. She's giving you over 165,000 might. No sarcasm, 165,000 might. Now, Book Artifact is going to give you even more might. When you're standing in your EOG, you're going to get 5% might. So there's other things that are going to give you might, which we're going to talk about these arts a little bit in a second. But that is why we have this setup. Now, what makes it so cool is that you're actually able to clip your Spore Pod, your weapon buff into your Riptide, and then your Spore Pod into your go right into your sword move, and then boom. Just like that. So you literally go 1, 2, 3, 2 again, swap back, sword, 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 dehydrate into bubble, sword, 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 and then you go lasso, tap range your brawling to cancel the animation. Remember this. You use your lasso and you tap range to cancel the animation. That's all you have to do. You don't have to do the yanking animation. You don't have to do this yanking animation. All you got to do is tap range and it'll cancel the animation. So again, you do 1, 2, 3, 2 again, swap back, and then you start doing the sword. You do dehydrate, you start doing the sword. Now again, this loadout is good for single target and boss fight. Dehydrate is a single target move, but it's still really, really good for ads, especially if you clip it. You want to clip it. Now you may ask, what can you clip it with? How do I clip it? You have a couple clips. You can clip it into bubble. You see, you don't see the dehydrate animation. You can clip it into Neo Venom. You can clip it into Neo Venom. You can clip it into your trinket in your utility belt. You can clip it into your breakout trinket. You can clip it into your soda, which I just messed up. But yeah, you can clip it into your soda. You can also, if you really wanted to, you could hit dehydrate. Like, check this out. Check this out. Check this out. You can hit dehydrate, swap. There's people all over these Spartan targets. You can hit dehydrate, swap quickly, and then go into your other loadout. You can do that, by the way. I don't know if anybody has said this, but you can do that. You can pop dehydrate in one loadout and then clip it onto your other loadout, but you have to be quick with swapping the page. So to see it again, you can actually go boom, 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 and I hit the dehydrate and I hit both of my Starfires. So you can do that if you wanted to, but if you want it a little easier, again, you just go script page and you simply go 1, 2, 3, 2, swap page, sword, 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 and then dehydrate, check the page. Oh, it's not ready. Okay, we keep doing sword. That's it. Like, that's as simple as that. As simple as that. Now, it's not that hard, guys. It's not that hard. Very simple. Very simple. 1, 2, 3, 2. Sword, 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 sword. Lasso. Get a lasso in there. Sword, sword, sword. Dehydrate. Boom. That's it. Boom. That's all it is. That's all it is. Now, the lasso, obviously, you want to use it when they're under 50% health. Pretty straightforward. Now, if you don't have lasso, okay, you don't have lasso. Pretty much same story. You can put in magma in there. If you can put in the new iconic, the new Radiant Nova ability in there. You can put in the water sprouts in here and just have it in both loadouts. That's another thing you could do. You could do that as well, where you use this and then you go into your melee. You use it, go into your melee. You could do that as well. So you have plenty of alternatives. Like if for the people that are like, this isn't water, this is just iconics, I can show you guys a full water loadout and it's still gonna do insane damage. Okay, this is all water And then we can even take out Neo Venom, and we can literally put in just, I mean, honestly, I feel like if you run Whirlpool and Call of the Deep, that should be sufficient. I'm only running Neo in case I have extra supercharge. So just so you guys know, because Whirlpool is a 5K and Call of the Deep is a 10K. And just so you guys know, neither one of these supercharged split damage. So it'll do the same damage that it will on one target than it will on 55 targets. So that's why you have to be smart and place them wherever there is a lot of targets if you want to get the most amount of damage, okay? But if you really wanted like a full-on water loadout, nothing other than water, just water, you could have this setup, and then you could literally just put the supercharged generator on the top. So your two loadouts would be pretty similar, but the only reason why I say put it on top is because you're running this back mod, right? And the back mod, when you use a shield or a supercharged generator, it can reset your shield and supercharged generators. So if you run the supercharged generators on both loadouts, you can see when it resets, and when it resets, you can just repop it. And you can clip the supercharged generator into all the things that I showed before. And if you're on the other setup, you can just clip 1, 2, 3 again, and then 2. So you can always clip it. You don't even have to do the animation. So that's one of the alternatives that you do have for that. Or if you wanted to, you can put on another shield if you wanted to play it more safe, whether it's the White Lantern shield or it's the Iconic shield, solely because you're meleeing, and obviously you're going to be taking damage if you're up close, so you can do another shield. So those are just some quick alternatives. But again, I would recommend this setup that I showed you guys, which is this setup. And if you want to run 3 supercharges, but you want to be like a little bit like more conservative, you can put in Speed Drain and run Neo, Whirlpool, and then Speed Drain, because then you won't be running the 10K, because obviously the 10K is going to require a lot of supercharge. So, and that's why you want to have Flash, because Flash gives you a portion back, plus the head mod gives you 15%, plus Scrap gives you 7%. So that's why it's very important that you rock those 3, so that way you're able to spam your supercharges. Now, guys might have noticed that there's other 2 combos. So if you wanted to go range for the boss fights because you feel like you're going to die, or maybe because your tank is like really bad for some reason, and you're like, you know what, screw meleeing, I want to go range. Well, all you have to do is simply go range. You do the same thing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, but you don't flip the page. You just go right into your combos. Triangle, 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 square, square, and then you flip the page just to hit your lasso if you're on ads, and just to hit your dehydrate. Then 1, 2, 3, and then same thing. Square, square, triangle, triangle, triangle. Very simple. Very, very easy. Very, very easy. Swap page. Hit your swap right back. Hit your dehydrate and then swap right back. That's it. That's all it is. That's a range loadout. That's why I said this setup that I'm giving you guys is very simple. And this is the foundation to your water loadout. So from here, you guys can choose what you want to work with, but understand the principle of Arsenal is the strongest water combo that there is. It can build dehydrate the fastest. The way dehydrate works is when you use a combo, you build it up, and then when it's built up, it does a lot of damage on single target, and you are able to clip it. So you see 3.8 million damage, and I'm not even buffed with anything. That's the dehydrate. So the Arctic Arsenal is your strongest combo, but it is a melee. Dehydrate is your strongest attack, single handle attack, but it's a single target, and it needs to be charged up. And then your supercharges do not split damage. Whirlpool and Call of Deep do not split damage. So if you're running them, you got to make sure you're popping them on the biggest set of ads, and then you're quadruple might stacking, remembering that you can get 160,000 might. Yes, you heard that right. Over 160,000 might you can get from Starfire. So it's very, very cracked, and you definitely want to level up Starfire and level up these 5 arts that I showed you guys. And that's pretty much it. If you guys if you're missing any of these arts, then you can put in Omega. I did mention that you can use Omega. You can swap them out for Candle, for Trans, or even if you don't have EOG or you don't want to worry about EOG procs, you can swap it out for that. Now, you may ask, where do I put this? Honestly, there's a lot of things you can change out, but I would honestly probably take out either Dehydrate or you can take out bubble. That's honestly up to you guys. You can just say screw dehydrate, or you can just take out bubble. One of those two I would honestly recommend you take out. One or the other. It's up to you guys. You could take out dehydrate, or you could take out bubble if you run around Omega, and then it would be very similar. It would be melee, melee, melee. Okay, my Omega's charged. I'm gonna go ahead and pop my Neo, and then I'm gonna go ahead and use the Omega. Pop my lasso and then my Omega. Always pop your lasso and then your Omega if you see that the ads are about 60-70% health. And that's it. And then you can run the Omega setup. I personally don't feel like you need to, but if there's a lot of ads, Omega can be very useful because Omega hits every target within 10 meters. So that is like the full-on rundown of water. This video has been quite extensive, but I wanted to make sure I covered every little aspect of water.